Yo, it's a family affair.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is Check That Post Podcast, a podcast about life, love, and relationships. I'm your host, Jen, and my co-host,
Queen, Marjorie, and Christina.
We know this down packed. And we also have guests,
Special guest.
Special guest, as I've been checked. A returning guest.
And 100.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Yes, indeed. So, we got a topic tonight that's kind of interesting, I guess I should say.
That it is.
And when I thought about this topic, I actually seen a article concerning this topic, and we won't get into that. But it's about: do you think that women should be required to take a blood test, or that children should be required to have a blood test to determine the paternity of the child when it is born, as soon as it's born? So, I know there's a lot of controversy about it. So, what do you think? Let us know in the comments, but we're going to discuss it. So, anybody, before we go there, how was y'all day today?
Day was good. My day was good. Yeah, my day was well.
And yours?
Right.
Long, drawn out. It was rainy. I was ready to go home, pretty much.
Yeah, mine was a little bit long too, but I'm happy to be here.
Right.
So, who wants to start off with this topic?
I guess I will. So I do agree that, yeah, like, why not? Like, already in the hospital, like, go ahead and get the test done. That way there's no doubt in the father's mind, no doubt in the mother's mind. There's no doubt whatsoever. Either step up to your responsibilities, or we can go ahead and get the government to make you do it, or the state to make you do it. So, like, it just kind of eliminates all that riffraff, because you can't say, I didn't know it was my child, or you can't say that I ain't know that he was the daddy, I thought it was him. So, like, make that heifer keep testing till she finds the right daddy. I mean, if it ain't the guy that's there, she know, women be knowing. They know who they done been with. So, get somebody else that's a possibility, and have them test too. If that person ain't it, get the next person till y'all find whoever it is. Like, I don't see no harm in it. Like, I don't see, the only thing I can see is that it's a benefit for people on both ends, the mom side and the dad side and the kid side, because when the kid grow up, they ain't gotta wonder who their daddy is.
Right.
Already. You already got the proof right there. So
that's a good point.
That's my take on it.
Hey, that's well put. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I definitely agree with you 100%. But I don't mean to even say it like this. I don't even know why I'm speaking for the ratchets, but let's just speak for the ratchets real quick.
Okay.
Coming from poverty, coming from the hood, ghetto and shit. So it's like they looking like at it like they just need somebody to feed their child. You feel me? It don't matter which sucker. Pretty much, it ain't gotta be no sucker, because you have men that actually know that ain't their child, and they will volunteer, and they'll still, because them like depending, but them real men at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can take care of a child that ain't yours, man. That's 100.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That
I've done
child didn't ask to be here.
Right.
And whether
Yeah,
their
but
father is
it should be the
acting,
man's choice whether he
Right.
wants to take care of that child or not. You shouldn't choose that for him.
Right.
Oh, you saying if it's not the dad?
Well, the point is, the reason why we even having this discussion in the first place is because 30% of these children, the dad is not the father.
Mm-hmm.
And women knowing this, that's the reason why it's all coming up, because majority of these women know that this guy is not the father.
Some of the women.
Well, I'm saying majority. We still talking about 30-something percent. And not knowing this guy is not the father, but they're choosing who they want it to be, or who best suits them.
Yeah.
Right.
In some instances, yes, that will be the case.
Yeah.
And the same with men. They choosing their baby mamas. You know, who they want to be their baby mama. So,
Well, the men can't have babies though. That's the
Right.
No, but that-
That is
but
the
that-
number one.
But
So it's not the
That's
same
the
thing.
point.
But the baby come from them though.
But
They
No.
put
men can't have babies, so
but they
the
put
woman's
these-
controlling that whole
We don't do
narrative.
that. Y'all
No,
do
but
that.
they're putting these
We don't do
babies
that.
out here in the
Yeah,
universe.
but that's not the topic. The topic is
Now that is the topic.
no. Men not having
We
these
just
babies.
create. We are able. We're the reason
No,
that
you said it.
we create them.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
but it's a big
One at a
but in
time.
that.
One at a time.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
But it's just like we create the baby, but you guys, y'all carry it, y'all have so much power, and it don't make no sense. Y'all have a little bit too much power. Even when it comes to states, what state you're living in, even this state right now, y'all have too much power when it comes like to child support and any of that. Like it's ridiculous, man.
When you say too much power, what do you mean?
That means the cracker gonna jump on your side automatically when it comes to child support, because he getting a part too. You know what I'm saying? So when you play,
some women are on child support as well.
you're right.
That's true.
That is true.
It's
But
not necessarily a male thing. It's
and see,
just
guess what?
majority
But
is
guess
males that aren't taking care of the children.
It ain't even
More
about
men.
them. It's bitter women that'll put them on that. If I ain't with you, you gonna put me on child support? Is that right?
No, that's not
And I go
right.
see my baby every day.
It's not
I
right. Not
request my
unless
baby.
you're not taking care of the child. It's the only time
Yeah,
a man
but
should
any
be-
woman on child support deserve to be on child support, because you know that's a junkie or anything. A woman that don't want
I
to
can't
be
say
there.
that.
Not
I can't say
necessary.
that.
Not
No,
necessary.
yeah.
What you got to say, Queen Anne?
I beg the difference on what he's saying. You know, every woman that put a man on child support is not a junkie.
When he's saying the opposite, he's saying that when the man put the woman on child support. Ain't that what you said?
Yeah. When the man put the woman on child
But
support.
still, I still disagree.
Why would he do that though?
I mean, it could be so many different reasons. Like, a man could be bitter because, you know, the woman don't want to be with him. And it could be something minor that she does that the
He's
court
gonna-
can look at that and say, oh, she's an unfit mother because she doesn't have a job or she can't
But
take
she
care
still
of
is gonna
these
be
kids
in her
financially.
child's
Like,
life though if she's a
yeah,
fit
but
mother.
that don't mean just because she's on child support, that doesn't mean that she's not in her child's life.
That's rare.
And
What?
still, still doesn't mean that she a junkie if he puts her on child
Right.
support. There could be some other reasons. The reason that man chose to put that woman on child support.
You're right.
Mhm.
You know, so you just can't stereotype that.
Right.
Right.
You're right.
Well, shouldn't it really boil down to the choices that the men and the women make for having a partner in the beginning to eradicate all that, like before you even go there and have that relationship, situationship, and get pregnant, or you know, shouldn't you make better choices and choosing who you lay down with? And you can do that by doing your research and investigate and finding out who it is that you know, coming in contact with.
Right.
That's. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to be.
No, go ahead.
No, I just want to say this and I'm shut up. That's kind of, you know,
Easier
rare.
said than done.
Yeah, pretty much.
But how so?
Yeah. milestone.
You're giving your
Because
body. You're giving your body to this
people,
person.
it's influence nowadays. You have so much influence.
That's true. That's very true.
With the world, like the internet, everything, I can easily just pull up. I didn't even mean to see this girl twerking, but she was twerking when I pulled up my phone. I was just gonna look at something else. I was gonna look for a job.
You're gonna look for a job. You saw her twerking. You want to get with that.
Yeah, I was
So
trying.
you
I'm
get
gonna
with
go to
her and then
Facebook Marketplace.
You get together and you make. Well, that's kind of being.
But I saw her twerking on my, so that threw my whole mental off.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
You're not making that's
So basically,
not
you
a
don't have no
nice choice.
self-control.
You don't have
That's
no
just like she
self-control.
said,
You know?
the choices that
You
we make.
lusting.
You chose to continue to look at her twerking.
I ain't saying continue to look at. Okay, man. Help me out. See that.
You got in that one by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
shit.
I think that, people getting into relationship, they should take that time to, as they getting to know each other, to make sure of this is what they want to do. Me personally, I feel that that if you committing to be in a relationship with somebody, hopefully your goal, should be something a little bit more permanent.
Right.
For me, I would say marriage.
Right.
But when you trying to get with somebody, you got to see the whole picture.
Right.
And so we have choices. When we start seeing red flags, then you might want to hold up on some of the things that you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't if you seeing it going left, well, don't put these fleshly desires. Don't just start saying, okay, well, I'm just gonna overlook that. Because the more you start to overlook it, the deeper you're gonna fall for this person, and continue to overlook the red flags that you see, and next thing you know, you impregnated somebody, and then now you having a child by somebody now that you despise. Now you going to court, and now more than likely because she wasn't ready, and then you really wasn't ready, but you got together anyway. The best thing to do is be mature, the both of you, and let's see how we can settle this thing out of court. Because after all, the baby didn't ask to be here.
Right.
It was just two dumb people that got together.
Right.
And made a baby.
Right.
And now the baby is in the middle of it, and so
Right.
we're playing tug of war.
Exactly.
And that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
That's my thought on it.
Well, when you already got two babies by two different daddies, you're almost past that stage at that point. Now you're sitting there trying to figure out how I'm going to work all this out. And the only reason this whole topic comes up anyway is because they've been finding out there's so many guys that aren't the father that's been put on child support. And that's the reason why the topic seems to be up, and everybody's talking about it this moment. And but at that point, I mean, if you got 30-something% of these kids, and that's on the low end. That's these men aren't their kids, and they're finding out later on in life that the kid wasn't theirs. And in some cases, you got the moms knowing it, and then they'll tell them after about 7 years when they're ready to leave.
Right.
They'll tell them, hey, this is not your child.
Then they wonder why they end up.
And the man's been paying child support all that time, so
But the thing about that, though, guys, is the man has a right to go and get the child tested if he wants to. He can get the paternity test to see if the child is his or not. So when you go all these years paying child support without getting that child tested, you chose to continue to pay child support and not determine whether or not that was your child.
But do you think, what kind of man do you think that is, though? That's what I want to know.
Any man.
Like, no,
Right, 'cause I
no,
mean,
what, like, is he a sucker?
I mean,
Or is he
I'm not gonna say.
No,
I'm not gonna say what kind of. I can't say what kind
No,
of man
but
he
what
is
it
because
is
he
a
continues
trusting
to pay
man.
child
Yeah.
support.
He's
Yeah.
trusting.
He's trusting
and-
what she says.
Yes.
Right.
It's
And
true.
he's assuming that, that he shouldn't have to check because he trusts his woman. So
he loves her. He
exactly.
prefer to deceive him.
And by that time, you 7 years in, you love this kid,
Right.
and you got all these feelings all bottled up, and I can tell you, for a man to find out a kid ain't his after about 6 or 7 years is gonna tear that guy on the inside out.
Right. Sure.
And the one's gonna suffer the most gonna be that child.
Exactly.
Right.
And then what do you do with that child? You can't say, well, I ain't your daddy. I just found out I ain't your daddy, so I don't love you no more. That's just not how it works.
Well,
the child is blameless.
Well, it's not the child's fault.
Right.
But at the same time, if the man's feeling some kind of way, he earned the right to feel the way he's feeling.
Right.
Now, should everybody put the child first? Yes, and that's where the child support system comes in. And the thing about with that is that even when they find out, just because a man signed his name based off what the woman told him he loved her, like you said, he signed the birth certificate, they're going to hold him accountable.
That's right. You're right.
For that. But the whole thing he has been deceived through the whole situation.
Right.
And child support don't care. Because bottom line, it's a business.
That's
Right?
what I was talking about.
It's a business. They could have fixed this a long time ago.
Right.
But child support did not want to do it because it's a business. They're making money.
Right.
And so they're supposed to be taking care of the kid, but they really harming the kid by allowing this to continue. Right? So they have to take some ownership of that.
Right.
That's their whole objective. But guess what though? I mean, I know it's some,
Yeah.
Can we go
Every
to?
situation ain't the same. It's some people that really do need and depend on that child support. It's
Right.
some kids who mamas ain't never worked a day in their life,
I'm trying
and
to
they
tell you.
depend on that child support. That's how their kids eat. That's how they get
Right.
clothed. So it's some people that really do need that money. And if the daddy is making it, he made them babies. He need to be paying
Yeah,
for something.
if he did.
They gotta
If
eat.
he made them.
They gotta be clothed.
Right.
And even if he didn't make them, if he's still choosing to take care of them, then
Yeah,
that's
but
that's
a
on
lot of
him.
times that's what we're talking about. A lot of times it's not his choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It is.
no.
The most of the time, it's a choice because you can easily
If
go get a
it can't be a
paternity
choice if you don't know about it. If you don't know that
You
that
know
kid's
that there's
not.
you know that
Okay.
there's a possibility that where every single person, if it's your wife, I don't care if
Yeah,
y'all
no
been
matter.
together for 50, 100,000 years.
Okay.
You know that it's a possibility that there could be the man sitting next to you, child,
Look.
your wife's child. Your wife can be
Look, check
pregnant,
this.
and
I'm
it could
sorry,
be
Mom. I'm
any
sorry.
man's child on this earth.
Okay.
You
Check
don't
this out.
know for a fact.
But here's
that
the
that's
deal.
your seed,
The reason
and that
why it
woman's
needs to be
stomach.
mandatory,
Mm-hmm.
across the board, needs to be mandatory is protect everyone.
That's exactly what I said.
Mandatory, I mean, husband, wife, because
I agree.
can you imagine it's going to break up marriages when a husband asks for a DNA test?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You see, so if it's mandatory, you kind of get away from all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Right.
I can agree with that. I think also that it should be just a natural thing because they're taking blood anyway when the child is born to determine if it has any kind of generic disease. So why not just go ahead and have that DNA, to determine who the father is?
Right.
But unless the father stepped forward to say, before I sign this birth certificate, I want to be 100% sure, then, they don't have to.
Well, if you do it mandatory,
Tell
he
him.
has to. Now, if he chooses not to, he can't come back later on and say, hey, this is not my child, because you had the opportunity to do the DNA test and you
Right.
chose not to do it.
Absolutely.
So therefore, you need to pay
But
child
that's
support
how
to the
it
kids.
is. Now, though.
Leads me to my next
That's how
question,
it is
though.
now, though. You have the opportunity now. Every man has the opportunity now.
But what about-
But they choose, or most of them
Yeah.
choose not to take
So
the
yeah,
test.
what about when they know? Yeah, they're my 3 babies, but I ain't doing nothing. Type stuff. I'm on child support and everything, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not doing nothing.
What do you mean, like nothing in addition to paying child support?
Yeah, No, I mean, no, just child support. We're talking about as far as child support. He say, I ain't doing nothing.
Like not paying child support?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like,
I mean,
what that leads the female to do?
I mean, if he's on child support and he's not paying child support.
Well, I mean,
Well, you know, that's jail time. So,
Right.
you know, you already know
I
that's
think I what you
that's automatic jail time right there.
You
So,
know, put her big girl
Yeah.
panties on and
Right.
Yeah, that's
do what
automatic
she gotta
jail
do to
time.
make sure them kids
Right.
eat and
if they
clothes
not
and all that
his,
stuff.
oh, he's still going to jail.
Well,
even
if they not
his.
his,
Then he signed the birth,
then he
birth
signed the birth
certificate.
certificate. They his.
That led us to our
In the eyes
other
of the
question,
law.
though. Like, should they sign the birth certificate at birth? I mean, like, should it be a DNA test at birth?
That's
Yeah,
what we're talking about. You
Yeah.
know,
It should be.
Yeah.
Don't you
We
think?
signed
I
that
think it should be.
across the board, no matter when that baby's
Yeah.
born, no matter
And who
you
is
married
not?
or not married,
Right.
across the board, that solves it.
So what they gonna do it at
issue.
the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
well,
already
you
there.
leave.
yeah.
You're
You're
not
already
leaving.
No, they need to be able to.
I'm hands down. I agree with it.
But
100%.
make the daddy stay too.
I agree with it.
Every night with the
100%.
mama, make the daddy stay up in the hospital too.
That's right.
Nah,
Because they don't even let the babies go back to the nursery no more.
So that means you
So the
don't have them
woman-
either.
The woman isn't. No, that means the baby is in there with the mama. Yeah, she's not getting no rest.
So you don't let the
Stayed
father
up all
go
night,
back.
had a baby. Huh?
That's
No,
what
I'm
you're saying?
saying don't let the father stay in the room with the mother.
They
after
don't let
she
that-
have the baby. I'm saying make that mandatory too.
Why?
Now, that's gonna be a little.
And also,
that's gonna be
it fixes the other issue of someone them giving them the wrong baby. See,
Right,
when you
that
do
too.
that solves a lot of stuff.
They
you
not
know?
gonna, I'm gonna tell you why they're not gonna do that. Because they don't want to goddamn. They losing money with child support.
Well, that's the whole issue. That's,
Yeah,
that,
right.
and we understand that. That's why
If I verify that's my baby father, and then if I go put him on child support, then
well, they look at it, it's
Okay.
better to have something than nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So even though this guy signed it, we're going to hold him accountable. Even but as she said, he should have. He's going by what the woman said, and what they're saying is that should a woman be punished for knowingly not knowing that's not the father, and knowing that she had other relationships, and pinned that on him and had this man thinking that, should she be punished as well? When they find out. I mean, just say this guy been in jail for did 5 years for child support. Now, and this kid come find out the kid never was his kid, biologically. Well, she knew it.
Yeah, she knows.
So should she be punished in that instinct?
yeah,
Just like you got punished.
definitely, she should get the death penalty.
No, I think that I think that they should handle, that, not give her the death penalty. But to me, it's like, you pinning something on somebody, it's like you stealing from that person.
Right.
Because you know that child does not belong to that person, and you got somebody else is paying for it, and I don't think that that's right. Then the other thing is it affects that child,
Yes,
and so
It
and when you have a child that comes into the family, you love on that child. Whether you working or not, you can't wait till the child wake up. Sometimes you just get them. I know as a female, you want to get your baby, just hold him, just stare at him, look at him, whatever, because the baby brings joy.
Right.
But see, that baby grows up, and it's attached to you. And so how can you let that baby go by saying, well, you ain't none of my kid and I can't do this.
Right.
So you have to come up with another plan to, even if it's not your biological child, that you can still have a connection with that baby. Don't let the baby suffer because something that the parent did that wasn't right, But yeah, I do feel strongly that if you knowingly put somebody on child support and you knew that baby wasn't that guy wasn't the father, you did totally wrong. And sometimes things we do, sometimes we have to be careful because we do mess it up for other people. But that is wrong to do that because you don't ever know what's happening in a person's life, and you don't ever know what's going to send them over the edge. And if he is that much into you or was that much into you with the baby, you got to be careful how you maneuver around with your life when you got somebody else and other people that's in your life, or what you do to them, because it's going to hurt them in any way. And if it's sending them on the edge, and I mean like really sending them over there, what you going to do? You know, now their family is involved in it, and they got their fingers pointed at you. So let's do the right thing. You know, make sure that we don't do that. You know, because people need to be held accountable to the things that they do.
Absolutely.
So basically, what you're saying, do you think it's fair then if a man found out that it's not his child? Say for instance, they did the blood test. Well, no, this is before the blood test. They didn't do a blood test. He signed a birth certificate, or he refused, or whatever. But he taken care of the child for 10 years. Find out the child ain't his, but he paid child support those 10 years. When he found out, they split up. And do you think it's fair that the law step in at that point and demand that she pay all that back? Well, I know, to my knowledge, when they established the child support, they require a blood test, but a DNA test. But if they
don't require it. It depends on the man. He can require it.
Oh, okay. I thought if they make you play child support, that you have.
They can make you pay child support
he can
without the DNA test.
Okay.
He can require it, but and if it's not his, he don't have to pay it back. If it is his, he have to pay it back plus more. You know
Okay. So do you think it's fair then that if he find out that it's not his, that she be made to pay that plus until that child is 18?
Well, yeah, if
you think that's fair?
Well, yeah. I mean, if she's normally manipulate that whole situation, first and foremost, it's not. I'm not worried about the dad and the mom. They'll live and go on. It's the kid is going to be. It's going to be hurt, and it's going to need help.
Yeah.
Because you know how you the guy that you think your dad and he just walks away. You know, and thing about it is that you almost. I'm not saying it's right for him to walk away, but it's his choice.
Right.
If he can't deal with that situation, then maybe he does need to walk away. And the thing about it is that, and if it's a toxic situation. You know how men are anyway. If something's toxic, we're getting out of there. And but through this whole thing, the only person that gets hurt is going to be that kid. No matter what.
And we love the kids, so we don't want the kids to be hurt.
Absolutely.
That's right, y'all. Love on them kids. They ain't asked to be here.
That's right.
All right. I guess we move on to Dear Jen letters for our time right now. This Dear Jen letter is from Anonymous, South Carolina. Dear Jen, I have 3 kids, and before you ask, yes, they all have different fathers. I'm divorced, and my second child's father is partially to blame, but that's another story for another day. I'm just trying to figure out how to simply co-parent without causing issues in each other's personal lives. It's hard when one or either of the parents are still bitter. How can I successfully make this work with 3 of them?
Good luck.
Take it one day at a time.
Girl.
Yeah.
It just depends on how grown everybody is.
Right. And your relationship with them. Like, if you're still, like, got them
I ain't got
dangling,
no advice.
you know, like, you gotta know where to cut off what. Like,
Need some boundaries.
right, exactly. Boundaries. You gotta definitely set boundaries. Both of you, actually, for each other and for the sake of the children. That's the only way I think it's gonna work. Set boundaries, communication, and prayer.
Exactly. And always keep the child's best interests
Right.
at heart.
Yeah, you gotta see them, bro. Like they could be ugly as shit. They could be fly, whatever. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like you gotta like view the individual and just see what type of they can be. You know, have problems. You guys. You know,
Issues,
issue. You never know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You gotta
All
know
right.
a little bit more.
This Dear Jen letter is from a male, remaining anonymous. Titled, Could I Be the Daddy? That's my baby daddy. Dear Jen,
Oh my God.
I'm married to a beautiful, sweet lady who takes care of our home and children while I work. The problem is, I believe she's been cheating, and now she's pregnant. I say this because we have not been intimate for a while, and the energy has changed between us. Should I get a DNA test?
I mean, yeah, if you ain't had sex in the time she got pregnant,
Yeah, that's a given.
how else is
Yeah,
she supposed
that's
to
kind of
be pregnant?
automatic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's kind of self-explanatory. Like if she asks, just tell her. Like she know. Like
Well, it sounds like a guy don't really want to do it. That he's in love with the woman, and but he's gonna have to.
yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, just or he's gonna have a problem with her later
Dealing
on.
with
Right.
the same
Yeah.
situation that we just got
Be
finished talking
sorry.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
I'm
they're
trying
not.
to tell you, say it again.
What you say, Margie?
Call
Yeah.
Steve Wilco.
I'm pretty sure that the whole 9 months that thought is gonna be in his
yeah.
head.
Oh, yeah.
Did she or did she
It's
not?
gonna be longer than that. It's gonna be
Yeah.
for the rest of until he gets
Until you get that DNA test. Yeah.
And if baby comes out and baby don't look nothing
Right,
like it,
something like
it's gonna
that.
be a
Yep.
problem. Destroy
Right.
the whole family.
Right.
Yeah.
But then again, sounds like she already made up her mind what she wanted. So
Yeah.
All right, this is our last Dear Jen letter titled Baby Daddy. Dear Jen, I have a confession to make. I slept with my current boyfriend of 3 years' cousin. I just found out I'm pregnant, and I have not told my boyfriend nor his cousin. Excuse me. I'm not sure which one of them is the father, but I'm keeping the baby. I love my boyfriend, and I don't want to hurt him. What should I do? Anonymous.
You're gonna have to hurt him.
What's
Y'all
that?
need to know the
You
truth.
need to know the truth.
Yeah.
It'll set you free.
Where are these people coming from?
and this is real life.
I
Though.
love
it.
People,
Real life.
unfortunately, this is what
Right.
people deal with on an everyday
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, it is. It
This
is.
is true.
But she's got to tell him. I mean, especially if she loves him.
Yeah.
You
for
know,
sure.
I mean, you got to tell him. I mean, just people can't forgive you,
Yeah.
and you don't know how that situation may play out. You may be shocked on how he responds to it, But if you don't tell him the truth, then you kill all that.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I hear you. But what if she in a situation where she's getting beat on and she's scared to tell? Then what should she
Well,
do?
she says she loves him, so obviously he.
That's what they say when they getting beat on. Hey, mama, come on now, condone. No, but nevertheless, though, that they retarded like that, though, they're still. I mean, I ain't gonna say retarded. I mean, like it's mental. It's like a mental sickness for a woman to still be with a man that beat on them.
Well,
that's
you talking about love. That's some people think it's love. They being mistreated sometimes. They think that's the attention you're getting is the wrong attention. Right.
It is.
So when a guy get, some people say any attention is better than no attention. No, it's not.
Not that.
Not
Not that.
No, because
Not at all.
if you think that's
Yeah.
love, then you need to find real love somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely find real love.
Right.
And if any woman out there that's what's happening to you, you need to find a way to get some help.
Love
Because they
yourself.
don't just
Yeah.
That's right. Love
For
yourself.
sure.
Go surround you with a community of people that will help you be able to get away from the person. Start with yourself first,
Right.
And then you go and get you a community of people. Because once you got a strong community of people that's surrounding you, it pump you up where you feel like, oh, I can leave that person, I can get away from that person, and once you get away from that person, you have to make that decision that it's not healthy for you to stay with them.
Right.
If they are taking their hands and going upside your head, whatever they're doing for you, to you,
That's real,
you got to
though.
be able to get away. And if you
Right.
have children, you definitely need to run for your life.
Oh yeah.
For theirs too.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Speaking from experience, leave.
But don't don't cheat yourself out of love,
That-
because
that's
it.
I tell you, if he's treating you like that, you need to find first heal yourself,
Yeah.
and then find somebody that's gonna treat you exactly the way you want to be treated,
Right,
because
right.
that's not real love, right?
Right. Absolutely.
But and I know we got to close out, but it seems to me that a lot of times a woman will leave an abusive relationship and go seeking for, in her mind, what she really wants, and then she always wind up with the same pattern. And so you got to be careful about that as well.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
You got to get counseling.
Yes.
Just because you
Yes.
get out of it, you still gonna need somebody right there that's helping you.
Yes.
So do what it takes, to get the full counseling. So because when you are healed inside, you become whole in that area.
Right.
And then you can be whole for that child as well.
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
And take that time out instead of jumping right into another
There
situation.
you go.
Take that time for you.
Right.
Take care of you. Take care of your body, your baby that you're carrying.
Right.
Take that time to heal and find out who you are and,
Right.
and what it is that you require to be whole, like she said.
Yeah.
Don't just jump into another situation.
Right.
because
Right.
It may not end up well.
Take some self-defense lessons.
Yes. Get locked.
Definitely.
I should have said that. But anyway, thank you for joining us. This has been another good conversation.
Yeah.
Check That Post Podcast. You can write a Gentian letter at checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Check That Post Podcast. And we are here every Thursday at 7:30.
Free show.
Oh, my.